Welcome to our channel. Today we're counting down the top 10 most devastating floods in history. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing content. From the serene to the savage, water is the lifeblood of our planet. It nourishes, sustains, and carves its way through the very fabric of the earth. But as we've witnessed time and again, this life-giving force can transform into a destructive torrent, leaving devastation in its wake. Throughout history, floods have reshaped landscapes and left indelible marks on human civilization. These catastrophic events, often triggered by torrential rains, overflowing rivers, or the unyielding forces of nature, serve as stark reminders of the awesome power of the natural world. Join me, Daniel Budak, as we embark on a somber journey through time, exploring the top 10 most devastating floods in history. We'll delve into the events that led to these cataclysms, the sheer scale of their destruction, and the enduring impact they've had on our planet and its inhabitants. The year is 1931. China, a nation already grappling with political turmoil and economic hardship, finds itself at the mercy of nature's fury. An unprecedented deluge of rain begins to fall, swelling the mighty Yangtze and Huai rivers beyond their limits. For months, the relentless rain continues, transforming once fertile lands into a seemingly endless expanse of water. Villages are swallowed whole, their inhabitants forced to flee or face certain peril. Homes, crops, and livelihoods are washed away, leaving behind a trail of unimaginable destruction. The official death toll, a staggering 3.7 million, barely scratches the surface of the tragedy that unfolded. Millions more were displaced, their lives irrevocably altered by the catastrophic flood. Disease and famine followed in the wake of the receding waters, adding to the already unimaginable suffering. The 1931 China floods stand as a chilling testament to the sheer power of nature and the vulnerability of human civilization in the face of such cataclysmic events. It remains etched in history as one of the deadliest natural disasters ever recorded, a solemn reminder of the capricious nature of our planet. Even today, nearly a century later, the scars of this devastating flood linger, a somber reminder of the enduring power of nature's wrath. The Yellow River, often revered as the cradle of Chinese civilization, has a long and tumultuous history marked by both life-giving sustenance and devastating floods. In 1887, this mighty river, known for its unpredictable nature, would once again unleash its fury upon the land. Years of deforestation along the river's upper reaches had weakened the soil, leaving it vulnerable to erosion. When heavy rains arrived in the late summer, the stage was set for disaster. The swollen river, choked with silt and debris, breached its dikes with terrifying force. Millions of acres of farmland were inundated, transforming the once fertile plains into a vast inland sea. Villages and towns, many built on the low-lying floodplains, were swept away, their inhabitants left to the mercy of the raging currents. The 1887 Yellow River flood claimed an estimated 900,000 to 2 million lives, making it one of the deadliest floods in human history. The disaster exposed the fragility of human settlements along the river's path and the devastating consequences of unchecked environmental degradation. In the aftermath of this catastrophe, the Chinese government embarked on ambitious engineering projects to control the Yellow River's flow, a testament to the enduring impact of this devastating event. As the Second Sino-Japanese War raged in 1938, a different kind of disaster unfolded along the Yellow River, one orchestrated not by nature's fury, but by the desperate hand of man. In a controversial act of wartime strategy, the Chinese nationalist government made the fateful decision to breach the river's dikes. Their objective to halt the advancing Japanese forces by unleashing the Yellow River's destructive power. The resulting flood, however, would have far-reaching and devastating consequences, impacting both sides of the conflict and countless innocent civilians. Millions of acres of farmland were inundated, disrupting food production and exacerbating the already dire wartime conditions. Villages and towns were swallowed by the rising waters, forcing millions to flee their homes and seek refuge elsewhere. While the exact number of casualties remains uncertain, estimates range from 500,000 to 900,000. a grim testament to the human cost of this strategic flood. The 1938 Yellow River flood stands as a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of war, even when waged against the backdrop of nature's awesome power. This event continues to be a subject of debate, raising complex questions about the ethics of war and the unintended consequences of manipulating the environment for strategic gain. In the summer of 2010, the nation of Pakistan was struck by a natural disaster of unprecedented scale. What began as a series of heavy monsoon rains quickly escalated into one of the most devastating floods in recent history, impacting nearly 1/5 of the country's landmass. The Indus River, the lifeblood of Pakistan, swelled to record levels, overwhelming its banks and engulfing vast swathes of land. Villages were transformed into islands, their inhabitants stranded and cut off from aid. Crops were destroyed, livestock perished, and vital infrastructure crumbled under the relentless onslaught of water. The 2010 Pakistan floods affected an estimated 20 million people, leaving a trail of unimaginable devastation in their wake. Over 1,700 lives were lost, and millions were displaced, their homes and livelihoods washed away. The disaster exposed the vulnerability of Pakistan's infrastructure and highlighted the urgent need for improved disaster preparedness and response mechanisms. The international community rallied to provide aid and support, but the road to recovery would be long and arduous. The 2010 Pakistan floods serve as a stark reminder of the growing threat posed by climate change and the need for global cooperation in mitigating its devastating impacts. In the summer of 1998, the Yangtze River, China's longest and mightiest waterway, would once again demonstrate its awesome power, this time with devastating consequences. An unusual combination of heavy rainfall and melting snow in the river's upper reaches created a perfect storm for a catastrophic flood. For weeks, torrential rains lashed the Yangtze River basin, swelling the river to unprecedented levels. Levees, built to contain the river's flow, buckled under the immense pressure, unleashing a torrent of water onto the densely populated floodplains. The 1998 Yangtze River floods affected an estimated 180 million people, displacing millions from their homes and causing widespread damage to infrastructure, farmland and businesses. The official death toll exceeded 3,700, a stark reminder of the human cost of this natural disaster. In the aftermath of the floods, the Chinese government implemented a series of measures to strengthen flood control infrastructure, including the construction of new dams and levees. The event also highlighted the importance of early warning systems and disaster preparedness in mitigating the impacts of such disasters. The 1998 Yangtze River floods serve as a stark reminder of the delicate balance between humans and nature, and the importance of respecting the power of these mighty waterways. On December 26, 2004, a cataclysmic event unfolded in the depths of the Indian Ocean, sending shockwaves across the globe. A massive undersea earthquake, one of the most powerful ever recorded, triggered a series of monstrous tsunamis that would leave an indelible mark on the planet. Walls of water, some reaching heights of over 100 feet, crashed ashore across a vast expanse of coastline, from Indonesia to Thailand, Sri Lanka to India, and as far as the east coast of Africa. Coastal communities were caught off guard, their homes and livelihoods reduced to rubble within minutes. The 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami claimed over 230,000 lives, making it one of the deadliest natural disasters in recorded history. The tsunami's destructive power extended far beyond the immediate impact of the waves, with widespread flooding, disease outbreaks, and economic devastation plaguing the affected regions for years to come. The scale of the disaster prompted an unprecedented global response, with nations around the world providing aid and support to the affected countries. The 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami stands as a somber reminder of the interconnectedness of our planet and the shared responsibility we have in responding to such catastrophic events. This tragedy also underscored the importance of early warning systems and disaster preparedness in mitigating the impacts of such events in the future. Thailand Underwater, the floods of 2011. In the latter months of 2011, the nation of Thailand, known for its vibrant culture and bustling economy, found itself grappling with an unprecedented natural disaster. Months of unusually heavy monsoon rains had saturated the land, pushing rivers and reservoirs to their limits. As the deluge continued, Thailand's intricate system of canals and irrigation channels designed to manage water resources became overwhelmed, transforming the landscape into a vast inland sea. Industrial estates, agricultural lands, and even parts of the capital city, Bangkok, were submerged beneath the rising floodwaters. The 2011 Thailand floods had a devastating impact on the country's economy, disrupting supply chains, damaging factories, and impacting key industries such as electronics and automotive manufacturing. The floods also took a toll on Thailand's tourism sector, as iconic landmarks and popular destinations were rendered inaccessible. Over 800 lives were lost in the floods, and millions more were affected, their homes and livelihoods disrupted by the disaster. The floods exposed vulnerabilities in Thailand's infrastructure and highlighted the need for improved urban planning and disaster risk reduction measures. The 2011 Thailand floods serve as a stark reminder of the economic and social costs of such disasters and the importance of investing in resilience to mitigate the impacts of future events. Europe's summer deluge, the 2013 floods. In the heart of Europe, a region accustomed to predictable seasons and manageable weather patterns, the summer of 2013 brought an unwelcome surprise. Torrential rains, fueled by a stationary low-pressure system, lashed Central Europe for weeks on end, transforming rivers and streams into raging torrents. From the Danube to the Elbe, major waterways surged beyond their banks, inundating towns and cities across Germany, Austria, the Czech Republic, and neighboring countries. Historic landmarks and modern infrastructure alike were swallowed by the rising waters, as the region grappled with the worst flooding in over 6 centuries. The 2013 European floods caused billions of euros in damage, disrupting transportation networks, crippling businesses, and destroying homes and livelihoods. The floods also had a significant impact on the region's agricultural sector, inundating vast swathes of farmland and decimating crops. Over 20 lives were lost in the floods, a testament to the destructive power of this natural disaster. The floods also highlighted the transboundary nature of such events, as floodwaters surged across national borders, requiring coordinated response efforts from multiple countries. The 2013 European floods serve as a stark reminder of the increasing frequency and intensity of extreme weather events and the need for robust flood management strategies and cross-border cooperation to mitigate the impacts of such disasters in the future. A subcontinent underwater. The 2017 South Asian floods. In the summer of 2017, the Indian subcontinent, home to nearly a quarter of the world's population, found itself battling one of the most devastating monsoon seasons in recent memory. Unrelenting rains, exacerbated by a particularly strong monsoon system, triggered widespread flooding across India, Bangladesh, and Nepal. From the bustling streets of Mumbai to the remote villages of Bangladesh, the floods left a trail of devastation in their wake. Homes were submerged, crops destroyed, and transportation networks paralyzed as floodwaters inundated vast swathes of land. The floods also triggered landslides in hilly regions, adding to the destruction and loss of life. The 2017 South Asian floods affected over 45 million people, displacing millions from their homes and disrupting the lives of countless others. The floods claimed over 1,200 lives, a stark reminder of the human cost of these natural disasters. The scale of the floods overwhelmed relief efforts, leaving millions struggling to access basic necessities such as food, clean water, and shelter. The disaster highlighted the vulnerability of the region to extreme weather events, exacerbated by factors such as poverty, deforestation, and unplanned urbanization. The 2017 South Asian floods serve as a stark reminder of the need for increased investment in disaster preparedness, climate change adaptation, and sustainable development practices to mitigate the impacts of such events in the future. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating content. See you next time.